A very good afternoon to you and welcome to your favorite business development program on Radio Masterclass. Masterclass is powered by Joy Business and is brought to us by Goyle. Goyle, good energy, Goyle, Yenara, Yedia. Masterclass is also proudly brought to us by GCB. GCB, they say your bank for life. My name, as always, is Barnafo, and I'm happy to be your host for the show today. Here on the show last week, we started a different conversation about thinking positive, and as I prepared for the show, a name came to my mind, Mr. Ignatius Ajabing here of Multimedia. Iggy, good afternoon to you if you're listening to us. And I've mentioned Iggy's name because there's something he always says whenever he signs off on the show. He says, think positive, stay positive, and feel positive. I mean, these were the three things that sort of underlined our conversation last week. We were talking about having an abundance mindset for business, having an abundance mindset for business, and whatever you think and feel is what most probably is going to happen in your business, because we're all some kind of energy. We're all resonating with each other in one way or the other. That was an exciting conversation. It sort of provoked us a bit. I mean, and the feedback I've got from my listeners over the week leading up to now, between last week's show and this show, is that it sort of reawakened in them a certain sense of purpose, because you are what you think. You know, oftentimes you hear people say you are what you wear, you are what you eat. But in that conversation last week, we brought home a realization that you most probably are also what you think, because what you think and feel is what you speak. And out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. And therefore, when you speak these things, words are spirit and they are life. And as a business owner, if you want to see problems in your employees, that's what you will always see. We were proud here to have that conversation with a renowned marketing and sales consultant who's also the marketing director for GG Online Market, in the person of Mr. Daniel Sapon. Daniel is back here in the studio with us. I'm particularly excited. Daniel, you're welcome back to the conversation.
Thank you.
I mean, I was counting the days and the hours where we'd come back here and have this conversation, because I got a lot of hits, and people were particularly reawakened, if you like, you know, about the conversation we had and the realization that it brought on, that I need to think in a certain way to bring that realization to myself. Because it's not just about doing things right, it's not just about recruiting right, it's not just about keeping your books right, doing the right things with marketing and sales and branding and all of that. It's also about what am I thinking?
Yeah.
You know, the energies that flow. We're going to go into that conversation again today, but today we're going to be looking at the mindset to deal with business challenges, the uncertainties, and the stress. Last week, if you like, we sort of introduced that conversation generally.
Yes.
But today we're going to be looking at the mindset to deal with business challenges, uncertainties, and stress. And I have little doubt that we're going to have a lot of information shared today. But before we do that, GCB has some wonderful information for us. If you're looking to pay your educational fees or any urgent medical expenses or pop-up expenses, or do any makeover or renovations in your home, or take a vacation or a holiday trip with your family, GCB is saying that give them a call on 0800 422 422 for a GCB personal loan and see that dream come true. GCB, your bank for life. Goyle also has some wonderful information and is rewarding all of his prepaying Go customers with up to 2% later discount on all fuel purchased. Join the Go Club today by visiting any of the Goyle filling stations or offices. And you can also join their website by going to registration.goyle.com.gh. Goyle, good energy, Goyle, Yenara, Yedia. Daniel,
Yes.
I'm particularly excited to be back in this conversation because the energy is good.
Yeah.
The thought process is good. The feeling is good.
Yeah.
And there was something you said last week which sort of has stayed with me the whole week, that if you're looking for problems, you will find problems.
Yes.
You know, and I mean, it reminds me of a proverb we have in our local parlance, which says if you're looking, essentially, it means if you're looking for something, you will find it.
You will find
but
it.
we say, and literally, it sort of supports the general
Yes.
thought process that
Yes.
you are what you think.
Yes.
And therefore, if you think right, if you think that today I'm going to get customers to come and pick up my goods,
Yes.
I'm going to sell these goods, then you begin to look out for the opportunities. And we gave the
Yes.
example of someone who wants to buy a car.
Exactly.
And for me, that stayed with me, because if you want to buy a car, and I have had that experience personally, if you want to buy a car, what happens is this, that if you want to buy, let's say, a certain car, I'm not going to do a free advert for anyone, but if you want to buy a certain car, you tend to see a lot of that car
Yes.
on the roads.
Yes.
I dare say that all the cars you see in the weeks leading up to the time you make the purchase are the kind of car you want to buy.
100%.
And it's like every other car is zoned out of
Yeah.
your vision.
Yeah.
So then what you begin to do is you begin to ask questions, and you find out that, oh, the car I want to buy, they release one every year. So there are different year mix. So which year model are you talking about? Then you find out that for some of the major car brands, every 7 years they change the mold. So if it falls on the 7th year anniversary, the one you're going to buy will probably look slightly different. That's new information. How did you get that? Because you applied yourself to it. You started thinking so much about it. You were thinking positively about it. And therefore you began to see it. Then you ask questions, you get more information. And finally, when you make that decision, you make it with pride. And it works. Today we are taking that on to dealing with challenges and stress and uncertainties. I'm excited because once you share the content with us, we will also open the phone lines and get our listeners to be up. But last week we got a lot of activations when we opened the phone lines, and it just shows that people are listening and they want to be able to have real solutions for their problems. Not the classroom and the textbook thing that sometimes goes out. So for those who are also watching us live on Facebook, we're streaming live on Facebook if you want to watch us live. But if you're driving, by all means, please, we want to make sure that you arrive alive. So just listen. When we open the phone lines and get interactive, then you can give us a call or send us a message and be part of this conversation. But otherwise, Daniel, let's do a sort of quick recap, if you will, of last week. And let's go straight into today. The slides will show online, and therefore those who want to make notes will continue to make notes. But how do I develop a mindset that deals with business challenges and uncertainties on the back of what we talked about?
On the back of what we talked about. So with business challenges and with stress in business, I would want to start with it from the Bible in Genesis. It says that the world was void and without form. So
and darkness was over the face.
Darkness was over the face of the earth. So that scripture makes you understand that the very nature of this entire earth is chaos. That's the very, very nature. The only thing that brought beauty out of chaos was creation. So God said, and there was. So that makes us understand that the very essence, the very identity of this earth we live on is a world of chaos. The only thing that makes things beautiful on this earth is creation. So if, for example, you look at pictures of Dubai in 1982 and Dubai now, there has been some form of creation. So that same way, apply that to life. Leave your backyard, let it be on its own in terms of nature. You see chaos. Leave even your body without a system. Don't bath, don't brush your teeth. You'll see chaos. You begin to smell.
Leave your car.
Leave your car, exactly. Untouched. You would see chaos. So the very essence of this particular earth is chaos.
The original position.
Of things is chaos.
Without intervention
is chaos. The only thing that makes things better is systems, structures, and processes. So you should just get to understand that your business is actually a business of chaos. So it's normal when all of a sudden you are seeing chaos, you are seeing frustrations and challenges, because that's the very nature of even starting a business. It's first nature. So if you are going through a lot of problems, challenges, and all that, it's nothing new. It's very, very normal. However, you need the structures, systems, and processes. So if you don't accept that challenges would come, then that means that whenever you go through a challenge, you'll begin to throw tantrums and you begin to get frustrated, not understanding that that's the very essence and nature of a business. So starting a business, maybe even as a startup or a small business, you go through some particular challenges and you learn to overcome them by building systems and structures and processes to handle them. Now, immediately you begin to grow, new challenges will pop up. Naturally. So your business, the continuity of your business, and perpetually, your business will guaranteed go through challenges, and it will have its own challenges, guaranteed. There is no business on this earth without challenges. If there is a business without challenges is a business which is not growing. Because if you have to grow, you have to step into a new place which you haven't thought of before, which you haven't ventured into before. And that alone means it's a new challenge for you.
It reminds me of something we say when we're growing up, that he that is down needs fear no fall.
Exactly.
And, I'm just drawing a connect to the point you made, that a business that has no challenges. It's a business that doesn't even need the challenge, because it ain't going nowhere.
It's not going anywhere. A car that is not moving, doesn't need to
It's
worry
not even
about.
attractive to the chaos.
No.
The chaos is, let me go and find
exactly
a real challenge and deal with it.
Yes. So number one, I want us to accept it first, that business go through challenges. So if you are listening to me and you are going through challenges that a year ago you didn't have, 5 years ago you didn't have, you should just understand that businesses go through challenges. Not just because it's a business, but because a business is in the environment, and the environment that the business finds itself is also an environment of chaos. So for example, we didn't see the pandemic coming, but it came. So maybe your business was fit, everything was perfect, but the environment in which the business finds itself is an environment of chaos. So things can happen.
And as you talk about that, another point just sort of drops into my mind, that the nature of challenge you have is almost directly proportional to the level of your development.
Yes.
So that, for example, let's say on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being the highest, if you are at level 2, you will have level 2 challenges.
Exactly.
And level 2 opportunities too.
Yes, level 2 opportunities, yes. 100%.
You can't be at level 2 and be having level 3
No.
and level 4 opportunities.
No.
Because along with the challenges come the opportunities
Exactly.
also. It's like a rose and a thorn, isn't it?
Yes. Yes. So it's I love how you explained it. That's exactly how it works. So maybe you expect to grow exponentially in your business. Everything is going smoothly. You want to put in new structures and processes to grow exponentially in your business. Expect exponential challenges as well.
Exactly. I mean, if, for example, you were serving, we gave this example back in the day of someone who was making bread.
Yes.
At the time, we're talking about quality.
Yes.
And then they were selling to, let's say, 50 customers a day.
Yes.
But this was homemade bread.
Yes.
They were baking this thing in some homemade apparatus and all of that. Really nice bread.
Yeah.
Such a person would pray and say, "Dear Lord, I want my business to grow."
Yes.
But what is the nature of growth you require? So from 50, you get 500. What that means is that you need apparatus to bake 500 pieces of bread.
500 piece of bread.
You probably have to introduce a delivery chain.
A delivery chain.
50 pieces, they were coming to your shop
Yes, to buy.
Now you have to get it to them.
Yes.
Those are challenges.
Delivery challenges and human resource.
Yes.
So first you dealt with 2 people, they were very nice, you honed their skills and all that. But now you're dealing with 15 people from 15 different
now you
backgrounds.
have to even borrow money. First, you were using your own funds to do this.
Exactly.
Now your business has grown. The demand is high.
The demand is
You have
high.
to go and borrow
Yes,
money
you
to
have to
do
go-
this.
exactly.
So you're right. It's hand in hand.
It's
but
hand
we
in
need to
hand.
have that clear understanding
Yes.
first.
So we want a bigger petals of the rose, but we don't want bigger thorns of the rose.
Another thing sort of drops in my mind right now as you speak. So if for any reason, the best scenario would be to achieve an equilibrium
Equilibrium.
between the opportunities and your challenges.
Yeah.
Granted that life is not perfect.
Yeah.
But if at any point, let's say the balance between your challenges and your benefits is disproportional, in such a way that the challenges are, let's say, 80% and your benefits are 20, your business is sick.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
I mean, it just makes for conversation. That's what I'm
Yes,
saying.
yes,
That
yes,
if there is
yes.
a balance in either
there's a-
direction,
yes.
it makes for conversation.
Yes, and it can happen sometimes, especially when so there's the learning curve, the exponential learning curve. So if I'm trying to move from 1 to 10, then that means that immediately I make the jump, I would actually have more challenges than benefits. But if I stay static like that, then my business is sick and it's actually killing my business. But when I jump there, I must, let's say, have 80% of challenges and 20% of benefit. I must now find a way and learn. That's where the learning comes in place. Learning in terms of getting a coach, someone who has already been there, learning from the mistakes of other people or what other people are doing, benchmarking other organizations who are already where you want to get to ensure that there's a sharper learning curve and you're able to balance out to increase the benefits and then reduce the challenges. A challenge is a clear explanation of not having a knowledge which you need. So anytime there's a challenge, it's not really a challenge. It equates a knowledge you don't have.
It's a deficiency that's highlighted.
Exactly.
That
Deficiency.
you need to deal with.
Exactly.
And to deal with that, the best way is to benchmark.
Benchmark. And then
Ask
learn.
someone else who's done it before, and how did you
Yes.
do it?
Yes.
You know?
And learn from other people as well. So anything you are going through right now, any challenge, is just a proof of something you don't know. Because let me give you an example. If a child is trying to walk, the child struggles to walk, but the child keeps learning. And one thing we don't realize about children is that their brains are very fertile and they watch and they learn. So literally what the children do is that they watch adults walking and know that this is how to walk. Trust me, if a child grew up and saw people walking backwards, that's how the child would grow up doing.
If they saw people walking on all fours.
On all fours, that's what they will do. So they watch and then they replicate. But immediately the challenge hits them, they try to walk and they fall. They don't stop. And if you've started a business, notice where you started from as a child. You tried walking, it didn't work, you never stopped. So why is it that whilst you are starting this business, it's not working and you feel like stopping? That child attitude that you have, that audacity, where you knew you got up and you fell down and you still had the audacity to wake up again, that's exactly what you should do.
Perseverance.
The perseverance.
You know, when you talk about children learning, I've always said here on the show that life is too short to make all the mistakes yourself.
Yeah.
So we
I
learn
love
from
that.
other people's
Yes.
mistakes. You know, and that's what it should be, really.
Yeah.
But I always, whenever you talk about examples and children learning, there's something that I heard here on Joy. I think it was during one of the programs.
Yeah.
And I can't remember who the speaker was. But he said there are 3 ways that children learn. And I think that we should borrow that phrase for the conversation we're having.
Yeah.
He said the first way that children learn is by example.
Yeah.
You just talked about children learning by watching.
He
said the second way children learn is by example. And the third way children learn is by example. I mean, the emphasis was on the fact that you can't tell a child to do one thing and you do the other.
Yes.
The reverse is also true. They are watching what you do, and as a result of what they see, they become.
Yes.
So if we're applying it to the conversation today, if you're having a challenge, what did who do when they got to where you are?
Yeah.
Or when you say who can be plural here. So
Yes.
take 10 companies. How do they all got to your point of growth? What happened to them when they got to that point, and how did they react differently? Out of that 10 or 4 or 5 examples you choose, you will find what applies to a specific situation.
Yes, you would find
and
it.
that's how we learn.
That's how we
And that's the
learn.
point that you're trying to make.
Yes.
You know, you don't necessarily need to do it by yourself.
Yes.
Trust me,
Reinvent
the
the
book
wheel.
of patents is filling up quite fast. So don't be a hero. Don't try
Yes.
and get your name. Unless it's a new invention, don't
Yes,
new invention.
yes,
But
yes.
otherwise, shout. You know, I had a
Yes.
boss who used to say, "Yeah, if you have a problem, shout. Shout
Yes.
means put your hand up.
Yes.
I need help. How do I do this? How do I do that?" And you can save time if you do that, rather than spending all the time yourself and trying to
Exactly.
mope and, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I totally agree with that. I mean, life is too short to make all the mistakes yourself. But I think sometimes, naturally, I think some people have the mindset of, like, until you struggle to do something, it's not honorable enough. I don't know where that mindset came from, but like we glorify struggle. There's a difference between a challenge and a struggle. A challenge is a genuine difficulty which we can learn and find a way around it. A struggle is there's a way to solve this, but I want to find my own way. That is it.
Okay, so today we have learned the first point.
Yes.
I mean, which is identifying and understanding.
Yes.
And I dare say accepting.
Yes.
That challenges are
normal.
first nature.
Yes.
To everything that we see in life.
Yes.
But what makes the difference is, should I say, in the case of the example you gave, God, or intervention. Or creation.
Yes.
Or taking the step to do something about it.
Yes.
Okay. Let's talk about, I mean, another way to, develop your mindset and in dealing with challenges, if you will.
Okay. So there's some form of optimism, which is a hack to dealing with everything. So if you are facing a challenge right now, there are 2 things. You can worry and be full of fear, or you can be optimistic. I read the story about the current richest man in the world, Elon Musk. And he invested all his money into SpaceX. He tried the first time. It didn't work. He didn't give up. Over $100 million. He tried again. It didn't work. He tried a third time. It didn't work. And guess what? The money was depleted. Do you know he didn't stop? He went to borrow money to try the 4th time.
Try again.
Borrowed money. Can you imagine? Borrowed money. You've tried 3 times with $100 million. It didn't work. And you borrow money again to try. I don't think that audacity, currently, I may even have it, because to borrow money again to try it.
But there's always a tipping point, isn't there?
Yes.
And
yes.
until you hit that tipping point,
exactly,
nothing happens.
Nothing happens. So he
I mean,
borrowed
if it
money.
was so easy, we'd all be an Elon Musk today.
Yes, if it was easy. So So I would say that that level of audacity, that fourth time he tried, it worked. And he was asked in an interview that did he ever feel like giving up? He said no. Once that is what he wanted, he would have found a way to make it work. If it meant having to borrow money again the fifth time, he wasn't scared to be in debt.
You see, and for me, I want us to hash that point that for our business owners today, I know that the realities are there and they stare us in the face. Your bills, your salaries,
Yeah.
the tax man is after you.
Yeah.
Business is not coming in. The people you've worked for, they are not paying you. And you've got money there
Yes.
and you've done work, but they're not paying. The
Yes.
realities are there. But it's absolutely important within yourself not to give up.
Not to.
The value of that is that if you keep pushing, I mean, how many times did Abraham Lincoln try to become president?
Yeah.
The examples abound.
Abound.
So what
Yeah.
we're saying is that this afternoon, be encouraged as a business owner. Don't give up. The first place that you lose your business is inside you.
Yeah.
When you decide I can't do this anymore, that's where you
That's
start
where-
to go down.
Exactly.
So we're encouraging you as a business owner that apart from understanding that there are challenges and there are difficulties and all of that, the next thing is that develop a resilient optimism that says it doesn't matter what happens, I'm going to do this.
I'm going to do this.
And for all the examples we've had, for those who have not given up and have continued to try, it's worked for
It
them.
works for them.
It's worked.
It works for them.
You know.
So with this optimism, you don't know. Sometimes you are in the business. You don't know. You say, 5 years from now, where will I be? 10 years from now, where will I be? And immediately, an emotion of fear and anxiety sets in. What if it turns out that way or turn out that way? Instead, think about it. What if it turns out better? than
What if it works?
What if it works? You see, let that be your motivation.
Yeah.
What if it works not even how you have imagined it, but what if it works even better than how you have imagined it? And let that be your so it's like two sides of a
Driving
coin.
force.
Yeah, let that be your driving. It's two sides of a coin. You choose. No one can choose it for you.
And the best example that I'll leave with us today, I'm going to say I'll leave with us. We're not ending the show, but that we should remember whenever we feel like, what if it doesn't work?
Yeah.
When you borrowed money from the bank and you say, what if it doesn't work? Yes, it's possible it will not work, but it's also possible it will work. Think about the Wright brothers.
Yeah.
How many times did
They
they
have to.
and others in their generation try
Yeah.
before they developed the
Yeah.
aeroplane, which
Yeah.
we all sit in today?
Yeah.
I mean, I still marvel today when a plane takes off.
Yeah. 100%.
That thing is, and
100%.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
Some of them are heavy. Today they're inventing much heavier planes,
Much
heavier
heavier
than
planes,
some
yeah.
buildings, and they take off and they suspend.
Yeah.
So nothing is impossible.
Nothing is impossible.
Our limitation is us, is our mind. If you think it, you can be it.
Yeah.
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 I just hope I'm encouraging a business owner this afternoon. I mean, there's a joke. I just threw this in. There's a video I saw yesterday that it's about it's a funny joke about someone who attempted a certain feat, and of course they were chewed up by the feat. And it says that's what happens when you listen to motivational speakers. He said this guy's listening to too many motivational speakers, but I mean, let's laugh about some of these things. But
Yeah.
seriously, in business, what we're saying is that don't give up. Don't give up. Be optimistic. Of course, be wise. Don't be thrifty.
Yeah.
Don't just throw everything in one place. Be wise about it. But whatever you do, don't give up.
Yeah.
Don't give up because it's absolutely necessary.
Yes.
Some of us have given up at the cusp
Mm-hmm.
of breaking through, and we didn't even know.
Didn't know.
And you will never know
Yeah.
anyway.
Imagine Elon Musk has given up after the third try and he didn't borrow money too. So I always say this, that life is a bet. And the biggest bet you should make is to bet on yourself.
Right.
Life is actually a bet. And the biggest bet you should make is the bet on yourself. Because the truth is that it's a life of no guarantees. That's actually what, and if you learn to accept it, I learned this in meditation about 3 months ago, and since then I've lived a bit with audacity. And the thought, the theory around this is that it's a life of no guarantees, and sometimes you don't want to accept it. There's no guarantee that tomorrow there won't be any new pandemic. There's no guarantee that tomorrow there won't be fire in your business and all your things will be burnt. There's no guarantee that some of your customers won't leave to a competitor tomorrow. There's no guarantee that your highest, greatest resources, they won't leave tomorrow. There's no guarantee that some of the investments you're going to make in your business won't work. There's no guarantees.
in addition to the fact that there's no guarantee, do you know what also happens? To an extent, all of us are business owners, individuals in our daily lives. We actually know this and we practice it in certain respects. Except that when it comes to others, suddenly the realization shifts. And I tell you what, when you go to the airport and you jump into a plane, you don't get to see the pilot, do you?
100%.
But you buckle up and
But you buckle up, yes.
When we walked into the studio, you sat down.
Yes.
Did you check the chair?
Never.
When you go to a restaurant and they serve you food, you start to eat.
Yeah, you start to eat.
There are things we do that we call, it's like a given. It's like first nature. You don't think about it.
You don't think about it.
But it's an expression of a certain kind of faith.
A faith we have.
And that's what we're talking about.
Yes.
You know, you probably, somebody will argue and say, maybe because the chair has never broken when I've sat on it, or because the plane has never crashed, really. I mean, there are things that have failed, but you've approached it and you've not worried about it. We're saying that extend some of that and worry, if I can call it that, to the things that you panic about.
Actually, it takes a lot of faith to know that I'm going to be 40,000 feet for the next 8 hours and nothing whatsoever will happen.
Do you know what happens when you are 40? When a pilot comes on and says, ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We're flying at 35,000 feet. We're cruising. Suddenly you realize, I'm in the air.
Yeah. you know. Yes, but like there's so much faith. Like you know, and that's what I love. You are sure. There's no guarantee, but you are sure that you're going to land safely.
Yeah.
Why don't we attach that same level of faith to our business or to the things that we do?
Small fraction of it even.
Yeah.
And it will make all the difference.
It will make all the difference. We're so optimistic. You don't go to a restaurant, as you said, and buy food and test if there is poison.
No.
We have so much faith. But we don't bet that much on ourselves.
No, especially when you buy a bottled drink. I don't know how many of us know that bottled drinks are produced in factories by people like you and me.
Yeah.
So you buy a bottled drink and you think, oh, the seal is on it.
Yeah.
So it must be fine.
Yeah.
Really? Who told you that?
Who told you that?
But we're not pessimistic about it.
No.
So, I mean, just extend a bit of that
into your
optimism into our businesses even.
Yeah.
Into our businesses.
Yeah.
And it will make all the difference.
It will make all the difference. It will make all the difference.
Interesting conversation. If you just tuned in, this is Masterclass here on the Superstation Joy 99.7. We're having a great conversation with Daniel Sapon, and we're talking about having the mindset that can deal with challenges, the mindset that can help your business to grow. We want to get interactive. We want to open the phone line so that you can be a part of this conversation. And when we do, by all means, please do pick up the phone. Let's share your thoughts. Today we're sharing experiences. What is a mindset that you have had for your business? Have there been examples or times when you've thought about things going south and they've actually gone south, or things going north and they've actually gone north? We want to hear your thoughts, and you can also send us your comments when we put out the numbers. But before we do that, we take a quick message from our sponsors. We'll be right back.
Your favorite on-air business development program, Joy Business Masterclass, is in session, and you can interact with us on Facebook via the Joy 99.7 FM or Joy Business pages. If you tweet, the handle is at Joy 997 FM or at Joy Business GH. Don't forget to hashtag JB Masterclass. You can also call us on 0302 216541 or send your questions and contributions through to the WhatsApp number 0551 111997, and our facilitators will address your concerns. Attention everyone, class is in progress.
Welcome back. If you've just tuned in, this is Masterclass here on your Superstation Joy 99.7. My name is Barnafo. You can see that I'm smiling quite a bit because I'm energized by the conversation that we're having here in the studio. Daniel Sapon is back here with us, and we're continuing that conversation last week about having an abundance mindset. Today we're talking about having the mindset to deal with challenges, with stress, and with uncertainties in your business. We're interactive right now. Numbers to call 0302 216 541. That's 0302216541. You can also send us your comments on 05511111997. Pick up that phone, give us a call, send us your comments. Let's get interactive. Let's have a conversation. What has your experience been about having a positive mindset? how do you maintain a positive mindset as a business owner in the midst of all the real challenges that face all business owners? You have to pay salaries. The taxman is coming after you. The taxman doesn't care. In fact, if I'm a taxman, I'm coming for my money. I know my money is assured. I don't need to be optimistic. If you like, don't pay. But as a business owner, you don't get that luxury. So how do we maintain a positive mindset? Let's have a conversation this afternoon. Pick up that phone, give us a call, 0302216541, or send us your comments on 055111197. Just to also remind us that Goil is rewarding all of its prepaying Go customers with up to 2% litre discount on all fuel purchased. So visit any of the Goil filling stations today or go to the Goil website, registration.goil.com.gh. Goil, good energy. Goil, Yenara, Yedia. GCB is also working to make all of your dreams come true. Are you looking to pay some educational fees or any urgent medical expenses or pop-up expenses or home makeovers or renovations or go for that vacation or holiday trip? GCB says we can make that possible for you today. So give us a call on 0800 422 422 and ask for a GCB personal loan. GCB, your bank for life. Phone lines are now open. Numbers to call 0302216541. Pick up that phone, give us a call, or send us your comments on 05511119997. Well, waiting for the phone lines to ring.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
The quote I just said keeps ringing in my head, and I just want to repeat it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Life is a bet, and the biggest and greatest bet you should make is a bet on your own self. Bet on yourself.
Because it would be such a waste if you didn't.
Yeah.
Because you're here anyway.
You're here anyway.
You might as well make it count.
Yeah, let it count.
You're in the business. You put money into that business. You set it up. You are there in the business. Make it count.
Make it count.
I'll tell you a story about worry, but I've got a comment on social media. If I could just have this put up a bit. It says, "Good afternoon, Masterclass." Okay. Let me see if I can't seem to see this clearly. It says, "Good afternoon, Masterclass." This is from Edmond Awaite. Good afternoon, Masterclass. This is an interesting discussion. In addition to developing the personal mindset, the kind of people you surround yourself with in times of challenges is also critical. This is from Edmond White. Edmond, good afternoon to you and thank you for reaching out. Let's talk about Edmond's comment quite a bit.
I like that. I actually like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so the people you surround yourself with determine the energy that surrounds you. I think I mentioned last week that...
That's why I'm smiling.
Yes, because you see, if you are with people who are optimistic, just have dinner with them, just have a chat with them. Trust me, they will give you some form of confidence and optimism, not just by them telling you about to be optimistic, but they telling you about their stories. So let's say you are with people who have succeeded in business, who are succeeding in business. Once they let you know they are also facing challenges and you realize they still have drive, then you're like, who am I to be?
And the thing about hanging out with the right people, I mean, I think we can't overemphasize that enough. I have also had, this conversation several times.
Yeah.
It's that there's a friend of mine who says you are the average of the three people you work with.
Yes.
The point is that it's either you're influencing your friends or they're influencing you.
100%.
So I'm not speaking against your friends, but if you have a circle of friends who are not adding to your life or to your business, then you want to minimize the amount of time that you spend with them. You're a business owner. Who are your business friends? You should have business friends who have gone ahead of you. It is only then that you can reach up to the level. Because sometimes what happens is that there are secrets. Little secrets that you can only find out when you hang out with people like that. And the thing is this, let's say you are into importation of, let's say, shirts.
Yeah.
There is some secrets in the business of importing shirts in Ghana.
Yeah.
That is only known to the people who operate at a certain level.
Yes.
Let's say it's not even open to retailers on the open market. It's only open to people who are dealing beyond a certain amount of money.
Yeah.
Now, when you sit with those people in their conversation, they'll tell you, oh, there's a consignment coming from China, but I'm dealing with this other transaction. I don't think I can pick that up. I need 4 people to pick this up. You are at the table when they're having this conversation.
There. Yes.
Maybe your capacity is, the thing is about 3 million. Your capacity is 1 million.
Yeah.
It says, we need 3 people. Can you find 2 other people in addition to yourself? What has just happened?
Yeah.
You were in the right place
at the right time.
You will not bait for that. No. Even if you're going to go through a formal process.
No.
That conversation is sealed.
It's sealed.
At dinner.
Yeah.
Whatever you do in addition to that becomes matter of course.
Exactly.
So we're talking about Anna Whitey. Thank you so much for your point. Surround yourself with the right people who influence you. Don't go to people who are always saying, Yenkoha, let's go here. You are only spending the money you are making. but you're not looking for new and ingenious ways to do it. The people who make money, they have a different kind of conversation.
A different
kind of conversation. Victoria Okraku is on social media. She says, "Thanks, Masterclass. Business is like it's like the waves of the sea. They rise and they fall. I keep my spirits buoyant with the assertion that today I'm in the valley, but with perseverance and diligence, I will ride the wave again." That's a beautiful way to to make the point, Victoria.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to even add anything to it. I think that Victoria has it. Phone lines are still open. Numbers to call 0302-216-541. Pick up that phone, give us a call. Let's hear your thoughts on the conversation we're having. This one is from Adam from Tema. Adam says he's a regular listener. Adam, please give us a call after this, okay? Maybe we'll make an arrangement and have you come in the studio sometime as a regular listener. But Adam says, my life and business attempt, success and near failures, experiences have not been different from what is being shared in the studio right now. When I'm mentally positive, things and events around me are also positive. And the reverse is also the case. You enter by saying the case, so I mean, I think that's an example from Adam in Tema. You are what you think.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, if you go to bed and you start thinking you will see monsters.
You dream of one soon.
You dream of monsters.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, there was a conversation I was having earlier this week about a video I saw of someone who was talking about when they fall asleep, they dream about inventions. They dream about new things they can do, things that are happening, and, you know, they see things.
Yeah.
And in that conversation, we ended by saying, if I think of positive things and new things I can do, and when I sleep, I see things or I see inventions and new things I can do, then it's such a waste of my sleep if I sleep and all I see are cows chasing me.
Yeah.
I mean, I can dream about better things. Why am I dreaming about things chasing me in my dream? You are what you think, exactly. You know, and we can't begin to. Phone lines are still open, 0302216541. Pick up that phone. Let's hear your thoughts. But let's also talk a bit about how to deal with stress with the same mindset while we're waiting for the phone lines to ring.
Okay. So how to deal with stress. So everybody is very, very different. We are all extremely different. And one of the, in fact, number one is if you want to deal with stress, don't get close to what is stressing you. Sometimes we need to take a step back. You see, when you are in the space where all the action is happening, you don't see what is happening on the back end. So sometimes take a step back and look at the whole picture. You'll be surprised that maybe just one weekend rest or get away from work, don't think about work, don't reply emails, just that. You begin to see a lot of things about your business that you have never thought of before. Never. So everybody has a way they deal with stress, but the first thing you should do is find something that distresses you. For me, it's anything nature. If I do a road trip, it doesn't have to be, if I do a road trip, I'm fine. Or if I take a rest, maybe a day, and just do movies. Anything that takes me away from work and don't think about work helps me reduce the stress.
There's one that works for me all the time. Maybe I recommend it. Going to the beach and just looking at the sea.
Yeah.
I don't even need music.
Yeah.
Just look at the waves.
Leave a little.
Nothing takes my stress away like nothing else.
Yeah.
But like you're saying, find what helps you to distress.
Exactly.
And step back sometimes. And that's the point we're making, that as a business owner, sometimes take a step back. You see, sometimes we are under the erroneous impression that if we're not there, our businesses will not survive. Our businesses cannot go. Look at it this way. If you woke up in the morning and you couldn't walk or get out of bed, you wouldn't be able to go to work anyway.
Yeah.
And your business will either run or not run.
Yes.
So let us also set up our businesses in a way that they can run without us.
Yes.
Let's build people up. If your business is just you, I've got a caller on the line. Good afternoon. You're welcome to Masterclass. Your name and where you're calling from.
Okay. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Emmanuel. I'm speaking from Sege.
Right, Emmanuel from Sege. Good afternoon to you. Please talk to us.
Oh, okay. I've been following the program for a while now, and it's a good program, and it has changed my life so far. But I would just like to share a little idea about today's discussion.
Please go ahead.
And for me, what I think is that every man is a product of what he or she thinks, or you're a product of your thoughts, in a sense that whatever you think will actually becomes, or whatever you think becomes your word that you speak every day. And the words you speak every day becomes your actions. And your actions will become your habits. Your habits will become your character. And your character will determine your destiny. So if you think the good way, gradually you become the best of whoever you want to be. But if you are thinking the negative way, there is no assurance that you are going to gain whatever you want to gain in this life. So if you think good, or if you have a good thinking about yourself, then gradually, you're on the right path to fulfilling your destiny. Because you, as a person, you're a product of whatever you think, or you're a product of your thoughts. And we live in an environment where everybody wants the best for him or herself. But if you find yourself in a circle where, if you look at the people around you, you are not encouraged, or if you look at the people around you, you are not determined to push harder for your goals, then you don't have a positive circle. You have a negative circle, or should I say you are living in a cage. Because all those around you, your parents, your colleagues, they are there to push you harder to attaining your goals, like you just said earlier. But if you find yourself around people who the discussions they have each and every day are just, excuse me to say, foolish discussions which are not there to push you harder to achieving your goals, then there is no way you should be expecting something bigger in this life. So if you find yourself in a circle and then you look at your circle, you are encouraged, then it is a positive circle. Right. And then you are sure that that circle will help you achieve your destiny in this life. But if you find yourself in a circle that things are not going on the right way, the way they are supposed to be, and it's kind of like peer pressure on you, then it is a cage that you have locked yourself in. You'll not be able to come out and then show off your real potential. So the way you think, the kind of people who surround you actually affect your business and who you become in the future. So that's what I just wanted to share. Thank you so much,
Emmanuel. I mean, I think those were some very profound thoughts by Emmanuel from Sege. And I mean, I don't want to add to it. I think he makes the point beautifully.
Yes.
You're a product of your words. You know, sometimes for certain people who are very, should I say, process minded. I have a few friends like that. They're like, yeah, you know, all this talk and motivation and all that. After you've done everything, right, there is a part of the process that doesn't depend on you. Which is that after you've made the sales pitch, you've spoken about it, you've branded, you've done your work and everything, the decision by the buyer is not yours to make. And that's what we're talking about, that it helps if you feel positive about it. Have you been in a situation where you've made your pitch and everything and the guy's like, you've spoken very well and there's nothing wrong with what you're talking about, but I don't feel like buying it. They are picking from your energy directly. Because you're probably sitting there thinking, he's not going to buy it, he's not going to buy it, he's not going to buy it. Oh my God, he's not convinced, he's not going to buy it. He's picking that energy from you.
He's picking that energy.
See, there's nothing wrong with what you're talking about. And I actually think the product's a great product.
Yes.
But
they just don't feel, because you see, energy, you may not see it, but it exists. It's in your words.
But instead of thinking he's not going to buy, start thinking he's going to buy.
He's going to buy. He's going to
do your work well. We're not saying that leave
well,
everything to positive thinking. No. Do your work well. Do your homework. Do everything that is to be done. But on top of that,
make sure that. So that's actually the difference between faith and hope. Hope is not a strategy.
I've heard that a few times.
Hope is more like, I'm doing, it will work. You don't have any plan. As we wrap up, I would want to separate this so that I don't just say, don't give up, and then you are just sitting there. It says that faith is the evidence of things hoped for. So that means that you have evidence that what you are hoping for will work, and faith without works is dead. So that means that there's a work you must put in. It's like putting in a Google location and saying, I'm going to East Legon. I'm not in East Legon, but I know very well that I'm getting to East Legon. So you need a blueprint.
But to get to East Legon, I must move.
You must move.
And that's the work.
Yes, that's the work. You know, so we are not saying that don't give up, be positive. No. Read, find ways, learn about the things that need to be learned about. And if you are listening to me and you still not got a copy of, for example, the 12 sales secrets, the global 500 companies don't want you to know, just make sure you get yourself a copy as well.
Interesting conversation. Today we've talked about dealing with uncertainties and stress.
Yeah.
Maybe in 30 seconds, if you're in a situation where you're dealing with an uncertainty, what should you do?
When you're dealing with an uncertainty. Calm down first. A confused mind cannot make good decisions. Calm down first. Put all the cards on the table, and then make a decision that would work for you in that particular situation. But you need to calm down.
So, I mean, if I'm just sort of summarizing our conversation today, accept and know that challenges
accept
are
it.
part of life.
Yes.
Calm down when you're making decisions.
Yes.
And then, of course, keep a positive mindset.
Exactly.
All the time.
Exactly.
All the time. Interesting conversation. Next week, God willing, You see how I said next week? It was the example I was going to give. I don't know what's going to happen between today and next week.
Yeah.
But I've said it because I believe it's going to happen.
Exactly.
And that's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Let's apply a bit of that optimism
Yes. To your business.
So optimism. Speaking of, in an should I say in an optimism way?
Yeah.
Let us look forward to next week, where we will probably come and sit here and talk about team vision, a mindset to deal with, and to ensure maximum and an optimized coordination.
Yes.
It's all in the
It's all
conversation
in
on
the
dealing
conversation. Yes.
with a positive mindset for our business.
Yes. Yes.
God willing, next week we'll have that conversation here in the studio.
Yes.
Thank you so much. What are our closing words for today?
I think a couple of people wanted to get in touch at other times, so you can find me on my website, www.danielsapon.com. That's DANIELSARPONG.com. On Twitter and on Instagram, Daniel_Sapon7. Daniel_Sapon7. And you can reach out on our phone lines as well, 0555 778727.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Daniel. This has been wonderful.
All right,
we look
sure.
forward to a conversation next week.
Pleasure is
Thank you
mine.
so much also our listeners for staying with us and being a part of the show. This has been Masterclass here on the Superstation Joy 99.7. Today's show was brought to us by Goyle, Good Energy in our area. It's also brought to us by GCB, your bank for life. My name, as always, is Barnafo. God willing, we'll see you same time next week.